Hey, welcome back to Studio 6. Today we're going to make a lion. This is an intermediate build with a whopping 48 pieces. Here's the materials list. And as always, you can find that on my Twitter feed. Well, let's get started. We're going to grab a tiny tile of elm. And we'll lay it down. Grain looks good. And we'll grab another tiny tile. And like most of my animals, this will be a 3-unit wide build. Next we'll grab a 1x2 wedge. And this will be the basis of the feet. Now if you saw my 100 sub vid, you saw I was working on a lion in the lab. First, let's get this 1x1 wedge in. That lion was based off the dog model, but since then I've made the fox, so I've made a couple changes. And we'll grab our 1x3 wedge here, slide it in the back. So I've converted the lion over to the fox build. I think it works a little better. Alright, there's a tiny floor. I'm going to flip it around so the grain becomes sideways instead of up and down. Again, just something I do. And I think it makes the eye unconsciously flow from front to back. Another tiny floor. And one more tiny floor. So far, this is just like the fox. We use a 1x1 wedge to finish off the body. Now it looks quite different in one color instead of the two-tone. Grab another 1x2 wedge. And we'll flip it up for the back leg. Another 1x2 wedge. And that'll be our last leg. And we'll slide in those back feet. The original lion that I messed with had a smaller mane. It was enough to tell you it was a lion, but I've tweaked it some since. Alright, here comes another 1x2 wedge, and this will be the neck. So far, still right off the fox base. That particular wedge, like I said, rotates for most of my builds, so you can move the head around. Unfortunately, this one's a little different and will not be very posable to the side. Alright, we'll slide a tiny floor in up top. And one more below it. Now we're starting to diverge from the fox build. Cats and big cats, their muzzles are a little flatter. Take a tiny tile and put it on top block. One more tiny tile. So we are out 2 tiny tiles. And then we'll slide a tiny floor underneath. So it's quite a chunky head now. Quite blocky. Alright, let's grab another 1x1 wedge. And we're going to go ahead and finish off these back legs. And that particular leg shape that I used on the fox will also work well for this lion, I think. And we'll flip this one upside down, another 1x1 wedge. And we'll slide it in. Now dogs do in fact have these haunches as well, but it's not as pronounced as it is on the big mammals. And I think I like that the dog is a little more simple to put together. You can do a lot more with it. Alright, one more 1x1 wedge. We'll close off that leg. And a last wedge for the other side. Alright, leg's done. And now it looks kind of weird, a short, blocky something. Alright, we'll start with the mane. I'll put a tiny floor on top of the head. And it should sit back from those two tiles that we put in. Another 1x1 wedge. And we'll start to curve that mane down. And right now it is very weird looking. Another tiny floor. And we'll slide those down around the head. Pop in two more of these tiny floors on the other side. Now, I've used elm here for the body, but I think palm would work very nicely with that yellow color if you can get it, or pine, which has a slight yellow tinge to it. Alright, take another tiny floor and we'll slide it under the chin. And then a 1x1 wedge. Flip this up and over. And then have a lot of difficulty sliding it in. There we go. Alright, one more 1x1 wedge. Put up and over. And there we go. And that's the extent of the mane I did on my test lion. But I thought I could do more. Let's grab a regular wire. And we're going to put eyes on this lion. So get as close to the edge as you can. Plant it. Pull it over. And you can see the little half circle. Try to line that up with the edge. And then stick it. And now we've got some eyes on our lion. Seems to add a cuteness factor to it. And we're gonna make this mane a little fuller. And unfortunately, by making it fuzzier and puffier, it's going to make it hard to pose the neck in some other direction. It can be done, but it's going to take some alterations. That was another 1x1 tiny floor, and then we'll go to a 1x1 tiny wedge. We'll add that on the bottom. Extend that mane back some. And grab another 1x1 wedge for the other side. There, much more fulsome mane. Another 1x1 wedge up top. And we'll angle that one in. And we'll repeat on the other side. There's an extra step for that, and we'll get to that in the end. But for now, it's good to place that. And we'll flip this one around up top. And so essentially we're going to cover the neck. And then our 1x2 koa wedge. We'll flip up and around. And that gives us a really nice mane shape, I think. Alright. So let's go ahead and stick the tail on. I'm going to use a blueprint in this case. Large tile. And we'll plant it back behind the lion. And you can certainly use blueprints for this to stack other fill blueprints on, or for drawing with wires. Tiles in particular are good because they have all the line gradations, which helps you line everything up. Alright, stick the wire in the middle at the bottom. We'll go up a little bit. And then kind of give it a gentle curve. There's probably no wrong way to do the tail. Just let yourself go wild, just like I have here. That's probably long enough. Stick it. And then we'll destroy that blueprint. There we go. Looking good. Cute little lion. Now we're going to pull off these side wedges. There we go. And we've got 2 tiny tiles left of elm, which we're going to use for the ears. So plant your tiny tile back here. Grab the other one and repeat. Alright, and again with tiles, you can glitch into them, which is what we're going to do here. You want to line the wedge up straight on. And that one's glitched out, so we'll fix that in a second because I'm recording by myself today. And we'll do it over here. Just line it up straight on, and it planted right through the tile. Alright, I've reset that wedge. And we'll go plant it on the other side. Again, straight on, and it should plant right through the tile. So now we've got a hint of an ear behind the mane. And there we go. A fast 48 pieces. A nice looking lion. Thank you for coming. We'll see you again next time. Thank you so much.